Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Chalk Talk here in the DK Pittsburgh Sports Steelers YouTube channel. Hope everybody had a great Memorial Day weekend. Today, we're going to be looking at Troy Fautanu, the Steelers' first-round pick, right tackle in last year's draft. So, first-round pick in last year's draft. Didn't get much of a chance to have a rookie year. He had a dislocated kneecap after his first game of the season, so it ended up being his only game of the season. But, high hopes still for this player, and wanted to kind of look into some reasons why. Try to remind everybody of why the Steelers took him. 6'4", 317 pounds, coming out of Washington last year. Height's a little under, but 34.5-inch arms, so pretty good length. But was known for being a supremely good athlete. Phenomenal. 32.5-inch vertical, 9 foot 5-inch broad jump, a 1.71 seconds in his 5:01 40-yard dash. So the 1.71 was a 10-yard split in a 5:01 40-yard dash. Really good in terms of getting out of a stance quickly. Just want to kind of go over this. I'm going to read Lance Zierlein's overview of Fautanu coming out of the draft last year to kind of refresh you on some of the things we were looking for. And you could kind of see a little bit in the one game he played against the Broncos, which we'll go into here in a second. Well, this is what Lance said. He said, "A ready-made brawler with an ounce of finesse in his game, Fautanu has starting experience at tackle and guard and is well coached, but he will default to unruly hand fighting when his technique gets away from him. He plays with average hand placement and can be beaten by length, but his tenacity and footwork keep him connected to base blocks. He's capable of getting to reach blocks in zone and chaperoning running backs as a pulling guard to the next level." Or on the next level, sorry. He's a pop and reset pass puncher who uses active hands and feet to help with extended mirroring he's forced into. Fautanu needs to prove that he has the leverage and hand quickness to play inside, but all signs point toward him becoming a good future starter. That was, like I said, one synopsis, again by Lance Zierlein, and you can kind of see this stuff here on this play. In particular, the Steelers are running a mid-zone, or actually more of a wide zone, but this is really mid-zone because Warren's initially selling this like it's going to be wide zone, but he definitely cuts this back up inside. But the block technique is the same here. He is all about blocking off this edge defender and possibly creating a space in the B gap there, which you can see it does end up happening. James Daniels gets across, and he gets the reach block there. Fautanu has this blocked off, and this hole ends up opening up. The problem is Zach Frazier, he gets to this, and then he tries to get up and get that linebacker. He doesn't quite get there and get the leverage he needs to, so the linebacker is able to then come off of that and fill that gap. But, again, we're looking at Fautanu. And you can kind of see the length issues. Here, Jonathan Cooper, the edge defender, has his arms are under 33 inches. I don't remember exactly what they were. I looked it up earlier. It was like 32.5 or 32.25. So shorter arms than Fautanu, but a lot of the time defenders will use this one arm look right here it actually gives you better length than trying to reach with two arms. Because even though Fautanu has longer arms, you can see the struggle there. However, it's this part, it's from the waist down, it's this part of Fautanu's game that's so good. First off, I just want you to look at the size of his legs compared to everybody else on the offensive line. This dude's got tree trunks for legs, man. They are huge. When you're walking around, or like for me, when I'm walking around the locker room, that was one of the first things I noticed about Fautanu when I first saw him in person, was these dudes' legs are huge. They are massive legs, and they help so much when it comes to anchoring and maintaining leverage and blocks. And he uses, and it's not only the fact that he has really strong, big legs, but he maintains a really good base throughout, and he can drive really well even whenever he's losing the length battle, which you can kind of see there. He's losing the length battle, but he maintains that. And if Warren doesn't have to continue to bounce this outside, a little outside of the linebacker, that is, Cooper doesn't stand a chance of ripping off that block and getting to him. And even then, he barely gets a hand on the waist and doesn't really have a play on that. The only one who really makes the play is the linebacker here. But you can see that if that linebacker gets blocked up, this hole, that's blocked off, and this hole's wide open, and he's just off to the races up there. And Fautanu does a really good job. And again, even when he's on only 1 foot, he maintains that leverage. He's just very, very solid when it comes to his base. And that's something you can see in both run blocking and in pass protection, which we'll get to. So that was that run. This one, you can really see both the athleticism and the strength on display here. So what he's wanting to do with this block is he is double teaming here, but this double team right here, somebody's got to come up and then get to that linebacker. And it makes more sense because the run is going this way for the tight end here, for Pruitt to be the one to block and then come up and get to the double team. And so that requires Fautanu to get onto this side and create the reach block there. And so, first off, notice how quickly, when we're talking about guys getting out of their stance, who is getting out of their stance the fastest? Seriously, like that is, I'll let it play for just a second, but that's really, really fast, especially when you really slow this down. Guys are, Moore is still kind of getting up here, and Fautanu is already not only out of his stance, but getting to the point where he is going to get over on that side and get that. And so Pruitt, what he does, and this is what you do as a double team, is that he knocks him inside a little bit so that Fautanu can get onto the outside here, and then he'll go up and he'll get that linebacker. That's usually the way double teams work. You want to help the guy who's going to carry the block get the leverage that he needs before you move up to the second level to go get somebody else. And so that's what happens. And then Fautanu, notice that the ball is at, this yard line right here. That's the line of scrimmage. We can't see the yard marker, so I don't know the exact yardage, but it's this yard line. That's where the ball is. And watch how far back he drives 94. This is just straight up. He's knocking him, 2 yards downfield and then to the outside. Whenever, obviously Najee, his attack point is there, but when he sees this open up, that's what he's going to go get. And so he cuts that back inside, especially once he sees that this leverage is here. And Fautanu does, again, really good job of maintaining leverage, that drive there, using those legs, that strength to his advantage. That's what he's doing with that drive. It is a great job of maintaining that. And even though he ends up, on his backside there, job done at that point. You did your job. So again, you can see, the acceleration. And it takes a lot of athleticism to get that much weight and size moving and then to attack the block when you are trying to go onto this side of him pretty much, and then you can pretty much do whatever you want. You can either maintain that leverage or you can continue to drive him in that direction, which is what ends up happening. Because you can see he gets there, and then he just continues to drive. It's good stuff, man. He knows how to use that strength, but he's just really well coached up. And now we're going to take a look at a couple of pass protection reps. And this here, normally, you're setting up and preparing for this edge rusher to just rush off the edge. But here the Broncos actually run a stunt, so he's going to come inside and crash there while he stunts to the inside. And watch Fautanu. Again, first step, you're preparing for a little slow out of the stance there. But again, slow out of the stance, but he's in that position. He's ready. Edge rusher crashes inside, and watch his ability to then take on that pass rusher, take on 94, so that Daniels can pick up the edge rusher stunting to the inside. And then watch how quickly he will go from this position right here to, and I'll play it in real time, to getting to a position in which he is in a wide base to take on a pass rusher. That's it. That was the entire time it took. He goes from here setting, okay, I'm ready for the edge rusher. Oh, he's stunting to the inside. Now I got to take on this guy. And engaging there, and then how quick he gets to a wide base. That's all it takes. And look, that is picture perfect when it comes to wide base, getting lower than your opponent so that you can have the leverage. This is perfect right here, especially when you're going against a big defensive tackle here. Now Fields gets this ball out quick. He hits Najee on the angle there, but again, it's how quickly Fautanu can go from, okay, I'm setting for the edge, to, okay, now I have to take on this guy. Now I'm engaged in that block, and now I'm going to swing around and get to that. You go from this. He's got the inside leverage. If he wants to rip off that block and then go get the quarterback, he can. But Fautanu does a good job of fighting and then getting to that position really, really quickly. That's really, really good pass protection. All right. Final rep here. This is just Fautanu really showing what he does. Again, that first step back. And I love how kind of aggressive he is here. It's not overly aggressive, but he's going to be like, okay, I can see you're not stunting or anything like that. I'm fully ready for you. And he's in this ready position, but he doesn't wait for the edge rusher to be the one to be the attacker and to be the aggressor. You can see him. He's going for the engagement. And again, it's this wide base. Watch how wide his feet are all the time throughout this entire rep. And to do that while doing a crossover like that, you can kind of see behind his left foot actually goes behind his right foot, and he's able to kick his right foot back and still maintain that wide base. His footwork is phenomenal, and it was that way coming out of Washington. And in the little bit of time that we got to see him in a Steelers uniform last year, this is the kind of stuff you saw. The leg strength, his ability to drive and run blocks, the ability to get back to a wide base despite having to do things like, okay, a foot crossover while I'm engaged in a block, and yep, I'm still going to maintain my wide base. And he doesn't let him get past. It's just a really, really great pass pro rep. And I understand it's right tackle, not the biggest need for great pass protection, but it sure helps. And when you have, whether it's Aaron Rodgers or Mason Rudolph, the offensive line's ability to create this for whoever the quarterback's going to be is going to be paramount. Whether it's Aaron Rodgers, Mason Rudolph, Will Howard, Skylar Thompson, doesn't matter who it is. They have to be able to create that. And Fautanu when you compare Broderick Jones to Troy Fautanu, Broderick Jones was raw coming out of Georgia in pass protection, had a lot of room to grow. Fautanu's more polished. And again, it's because of how technically sound he is with his footwork and with his lower body. And you can see it here. So hope that helps explain some things for you. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. Hope you guys are going to enjoy all of the coverage that we have of OTAs this week and next week. We're still going to be bringing you these Chalk Talks too. So hope you're really enjoying all the Steelers content we're pumping out, and we're excited as we continue to get closer and closer to the start of training camp in July. So until next time, catch you guys on the Flippity Flip. We'll see you later.